the separate indie persona idea. I know a lot of I do know a lot of people that do have a sort of distinction that they'll say that they get into indie development or find that they're relatively successful or just make a lot of progress because they are trying to get away from something. Like, you know, maybe their main life is, you know, got something in it that they just don't want to have to deal with. Me, however, I don't have much of a ordinary life, if you will, or anything to really complain about or to have problems with. This is probably going to sound sad in its own way, but I don't have any relationships to speak of. I'm not dying of any horrible diseases or anything. You know, aside from a little extra body weight, you know, I'm okay. You know, if it's just kind of perfect, sort of, you know, it's not too bad or too good. It's pretty good at times. It's, you know, crappy at other times. Very neutral. How boring. So, why is this the case? Well, growing up, I was definitely a nerd. I hung out with other nerds, programmer types, artists, musicians. Pretty much everyone I associated with was creative in some way. Like, they had something that was either theirs, or they did a couple things, you know, jumped around. And I'm just happened to be one of the few of us that actually turned my creative ventures into a career. I'd spend most of my free time, pretty much all my free time, doing, you know, either, if I wasn't playing games, I was designing them, I was reading about them, I was even programming them, because, well, programming has always been my forte. Damn it. Oh, that's better. So, I was obsessed. Like, really, any waking moment that I could find, I would be head down doing game stuff. You know, I eventually took a internship at a game company, pretty much hired on as is, or hired on to be a lead programmer right from the internship. So, having that kind of responsibility, I kind of never did go back to school. So, yeah, never went back. Mom was a little disappointed by that, but oh well. I always wanted to make games. It was clear from that, so she was cool with it. So I got the interesting opportunity to grow up in the fires of crunch time. You know, that's pretty much how I got to learn the world. In the fire of, okay, we have to get this out next week. Oh, by the way, we're under-scheduled and under-manpowered and, you know, all this. So I'm in my 30s now. I turned 31 in a few weeks. And I make indie games for a living. And that's probably because that's just all I know. Just how to make games. I'm pretty good at it. And I still enjoy it after all this time. You know, I may not enjoy, you know, doing terrible contract license work. I don't know if I ever did. I was about to say that I used to, but I don't think I ever did. And that's just who I am. So there's not much of a disconnect between me and this, you know, the what would be the other life, because I integrate all of it into the same thing. Just that's how I did things. I have a very needy creative side that wants to both consume and to create stuff all the time. So making games for a living suits me. At least I think. I guess it doesn't even have to be games, really. But in all honesty, that's what I know best, and probably the easiest thing for me to actually make decent money and a living from is game making. I'm also under the strange impression that I think business is easy, despite not rolling in the dough or anything like that. But I am 30 now. I've spent 1/3 of my life making games commercially, professionally, whatever you want to call that. Plus a good chunk of my youth, being completely fascinated and obsessed with everything related to it. I also have no dependents, no unknown children that I'm aware of. I'm independent. I don't have to support anybody. So, but the glory days, if you will, of being the superstar youth developer are over now because of the 3.0. Weird. So now I'm just some dude. So dude, Mike, what you gonna do?
Make a game.